Hi, it's Easy English with Colleen. This video is made for children. It's beginning level. And today we're going to play Draw It. So I'm going to get paper or a whiteboard and we're going to draw things about your house. So what do you have in your house? I did a previous video about the living room. And now today we're going to do the kitchen. So, what do you have in your kitchen? Oh, this is a very big thing in my kitchen. And it helps to keep things cold, keep my food cold, or even keep it frozen. Do you know what that is? What is it called? It's called a fridge. It's kind of hard to spell, but try. So, in the kitchen, we usually have a fridge. So, draw a picture of your fridge. I'm going to draw a picture of my fridge. It's quite big and gray, and it has on the bottom is the freezer, and on the top is the fridge. So when I was a child, the freezer was always on the top, which never made sense to me because it's right in front of you, but you don't use the freezer as much as you use the fridge. So now it's different. Most fridges today have the fridge at the top and the freezer at the bottom, which makes a lot more sense to me. So this is what the fridge looks like in my kitchen. So let's think of something else that you have in your kitchen. Let's think. Well, you have to cook your food in the kitchen for sure. So let's draw that. What is that called? It's called the stove. Can you write stove? In England, I think it's called the cooker, but not in Canada and America. It's called the stove. So let's draw the stove. I have a stove with 4 burners, and then it has as well um, a place to cook, to roast something, and that is what we call the oven. So it's got a little handle here. So the stove is where we cook in pots and pans on top of the stove, and sometimes it's called the stove top as well. But then if we want to like roast a chicken or something or bake a lasagna, we put that down below in the oven. So you can see on top we have the burners to cook with pots and pans, and in the oven we can put something to bake or to roast. So you can put a pizza in the oven, a casserole in the oven, chicken in the oven. Yeah. So that is the stove with the oven. So let's think. We've got the fridge and the stove. So we have our food in the fridge, and then we cook our food in the oven. What else do you need in the kitchen? You need a sink. You need a sink. So my sink looks like this. Can you write the word sink? Mine has a kind of a draining board, and then it has the big sink, and then it has a tap for the water, and it's got, yeah, it's got a little tap, and then it's got a big tap that you can pull out. You can pull out and swish things around. So that's what my sink looks like. So it's got a draining board and it's got two taps and a big sink there. But sometimes people have a double sink. And that means that they can wash their dishes here or here and then put them to dry in the other side. I wash here and then I put them to dry on the board. And sometimes I also use a rack. So the rack looks like this. And I can put my plates and everything to dry on the rack. And I put a towel underneath. Usually I put a towel underneath as well to absorb the water. So sometimes I use a drying rack next to the sink. So that's the sink, the oven and stove and fridge. Okay, what else do you have in the kitchen? Oh, well, sometimes people have their dining table in the kitchen. Sometimes they have the dining table in a special room called the dining room because they just eat in there. But in my house, I don't have a dining room, so I just have a kitchen table and 4 chairs. So it's very simple table. It's just a square. Ollie, who are you barking at, Boo? So it's just a square, very simple, and it's my kitchen table. So my kitchen table, and then if you had people over, you would put up maybe some placemats, and you would put your plates on top, and your fork and your knife beside it, and then you would all have something to eat. So, and of course, you have to sit down at the table, so you usually have some kind of chairs that match the table. So you would have a chair for each person. So let's write that word again. We already wrote the word, but we'll write it again. So that's a chair and a table for your kitchen. So what have we got so far? Ollie, you're barking your head off. Oh, someone's parked in front of our house. I wonder why. Oh dear. I can't answer the phone. I'm busy. I should turn that off. So the kitchen has a fridge and a stove and an oven and a sink and a dining table and chairs. What else can you have? Oh, this is something important. You have cupboards. And in the cupboard, you can have your plates and glasses. You can have dry food. So there's lots you can do. You can put in the cupboards. So you could put your rice in the cupboard, your cookies in the cupboard, your glasses and your plates in the cupboard. And below that is the surface, and that's called the countertop. And on the countertop is where you do your work. So you can chop your vegetables or cut your bread or um, put some appliances, maybe like a tea kettle, something like that. So that's the kitchen. Yeah, you can have other things in your kitchen too, but those are the most important things. Oh, dog. Ollie, stop barking, sweetheart. Okay, so we're going to end there, and I'll try to get my dog to calm down and see what's going on out there. Okay, bye for now.